Hello, hello. Good afternoon, good morning, whatever it is for you. Hello. How's it going? Welcome, welcome everybody. Welcome to Wellness Wednesdays. On Wellness Wednesdays, we make it subscriber only to keep out trolls and stuff, and everyone just comes and talks about how they're doing, like mentally and emotionally and stuff, and like it's just a place to kind of come and vent and chill. So welcome everybody. This music, man, I don't know if it's fitting exactly the vibe. Let's see. Sure, we'll go with that one. Hello, hello everybody. How's it going? I am in a lot of pain today. I'm not having a good body day. So you're getting worn down queen today is what you're getting. But I can still be here for Wellness Wednesdays. These headsets are like deafening. I can't hear anything. I got this one like piece of a bang that like just will not work with me. There we go. Oh, hi guys. How's it going? I am just tired. I went out, what's today, Wednesday? Yesterday. Yeah, I went out yesterday. Just because I was like, I need to fucking leave the house and see some people and do some things. And apparently I overdid it without realizing it. I don't know how I did that, but I am feeling it today. That's for sure. Alright. So I thought I'd do some art while we were chit-chatting today. Attempt to do some art. Let's see here. Let's just, let's get some warm-ups going. Get the creative juices flowing. What am I in the mood to paint with today? I want to like make this like fade out. Hold on, no, undo. Layer new. Probably need like particle more than like a splash, but I'm here now. Let's see, let's go to Queens, Photoshop pieces, brushes. Go away. That's not quite what I'm looking for. Let's try sparkle instead. Sparklies. Why do I have this twice? Gotta find the one I'm looking for. Something soft is what I'm looking for. Let's try this. Hi.
Are you streaming?
Yeah. Hi, baby.
Hi. I want it that big. It looks cool
Mm.
when you put it on. Do you think it's cool?
I do. That's why I'm using it.
Yeah, it looks like dots, which is cool. Anyways, making art over here.
Going to be changing the colors of these, but I wanted to get the layout first.
It looks like paint displayed on the screen. Yeah.
No.
Ooh, that looks way better. Ooh, I love that kind of scene now. I love that. See? It's gonna be like I guess a blue, purplish color.
Maybe.
Oh,
Oh, oops.
that looks cool. My God, it's cool. You want blue? Kind of want a light blue?
I don't want the colors too contrasty. So maybe like...
You just want it to look fancy? Are you going to make something in here, or is it just going to be like looking like paint splatters?
I don't know yet, buddy. I'm making it up as I go.
As it echo? Oh, is this puppy's toothbrush?
Yes, put it back.
I like how it has double the toothbrush. Isn't that cool?
I need like a watercolor brush. Okay, let's see. Apparently it's still thinking. Okay. Let's go completely different color. Gotta find just the right size. Let's try 2000. Okay. Kind of like that. Like doing this like kind of wash, whatever they call it. Gotta line it up right, that's for sure though. Go back up to that other watercolor thing. Yeah. Butterflies, you look at me, my features. You woke up and frown. I was right to the left. I got myself. Not 200, 2,000. Okay. Don't share where to go and hide my side. I know good for me. Dangerous. Give you in the dark, give you in the in the dark. No, I definitely like the green color more. This one needs to be more solid than the other one. I like that. It's kind of got a spacey little fun vibe. No, I said I'd never do this again. I'm asking for another chance. Not really easy, baby, believe me. I can't see. If you still dream of me, let you open your feet. Are you not moving? Darling, I just can't sleep. Oh. Don't tell me you froze. There we go. I'm just gonna call it Speckles. Perp. Said you never want this to end. Say let's for another chance. I can't see. I wonder if you still dream of me. What you want for your freedom. Because you out and just can't compete. Darling, I just can't sleep for you. Alright. I was gonna work on some emotes while we were chit-chatting today. Okay, what's first? The first one is the milk one. I come home. You're my world, now you don't even know if you're gonna love me or just let me go. But you know my heart's when I come home. Don't dream of me. Boy, stripped you off of your freedom. Other word that draws you out. Just can't compete. Darling, I just can't see. Alright, so Riot needs a spicy milk emote for when he does his Reaper powder stuff. Let me. Alright, let's start here. Layer, new, layer. We're gonna draw, let's do rectangles. Ink. I'll have to angle it. So then I don't want a rectangle, I want this, right? Go straight down. And I'll go by layer, new layer. So, let's see. Today's Wellness Wednesday topic. When it comes to Wellness Wednesday, I typically don't try to think too much into it because I want it to feel organic and not really scripted and whatnot. So I guess I don't know. I guess today I'll talk about like the disability that I have and stuff, and kind of talk about how that affects me. If I can get this drawn first. There we go. And then you come over and you go up. There we go. We're gonna merge. Well, maybe not merge just yet. Duplicate. Okay. Let's do group. Group. Here we go. Front carton. Let's turn all these off for a second. Bottom, bottom. Side, side. Excuse me. Line 2. Make a copy. Let's move it down. Okay. You go in the front of carton, you go in the front of carton, you go in the front of carton, you go in the front of carton. You guys merge. There we go. Dang it. I merged and did something weird. Hold on. Can I just merge down? Hello, digital. I don't know what I clicked, but I need to unclick that. Let's try this one at a time. Merge shapes. Okay. Merge shapes. Why does that move my line when I merge that shape? I don't understand. Merge. Now when I merge these two, does it move my line? Yes. I don't understand, but okay. Hi. We're just getting started here. So you haven't missed much. I did like an art thing to warm up. I'll find it. Hold on. Yeah, I made that. That was my warm-up photo. And now I'm working on spicy milks. Okay, where is you? You need to move to here. Turn this on. Angle, layer, new layer. Probably need to make this like 1 pixel longer. Edit, pre-transform. I think like that maybe. Yeah, that's fine. Duplicate. Bring down to here. My line thickness is like all wonky right now. Okay, so you're like a hair too long. Fine, rasterize. No, okay, it is this. I'm about to be obsessing over some pickles. Over some pickles. Over some pixels. I mean, I do like pickles. I'd probably obsess over them. Oh, no worries. I haven't really got started. I'm trying to motivate myself and having some issues. Okay. Merge down, right? Yeah, merge these three. See, why does it move my line when I merge? I don't understand. All right. Merge shapes. Then I go here. I'm gonna merge shapes and that bottom line is gonna move. See? Bitches. Fine. You're part of the side curtain. Can I just... What happens if you just flatten? No, I don't want to discard hidden layers. Okay, let's do a rasterized type then. That's what we probably need to do. That's probably why my shit's fucking up. Merge down. Yes, that's not causing a problem, so I will take it. You were my backup lines, weren't you? Merge down. Okay. You're just backups, so I need to make a new group. Call it backup, because these are my backup lines, just in case. Hide. Okay. Don't know why that was so hard. Okay. Hi guys, welcome. I'm gonna go here for a second. We are gonna continue this, but I'm gonna take a minute because I gotta pull up something. If I can find it. Hex, are you okay? Hold on. Are you okay?
Yes, something fell down.
What fell down?
Okay, so yeah.
Okay, I'm coming. I'll be right back. Okay. Something fell. The wire to Hex's Wii controller got caught around his chair and fell. So his Wii fell down. But I don't think it broke. I think it's just unplugged or something. Post. I'm looking for something, so bear with me, guys. It's just... Where is it? Where is it? Oh my goodness. Okay. Found what I was looking for. Stop. Okay. So today on Wellness Wednesday, he does have like some sort of GameCube controller. Look, okay, I don't play the Wii ever. I think I played Just Dance on it when it first came out. Like, I just don't play a Wii. So yeah, sure, it's a game controller thing that's like plugged in by wire. I don't know, for him to play Smash Brothers with. There you go. Alright. So today on Wellness Wednesday, I was going to talk about my disability and how it affects my mental health and stuff while making emotes for Riot, probably. But it's easier for people to understand if I show them pictures. So that's what I'm going to do. Actually, I wonder if I still have... I used to have a photo on here. Hold on. Post. Oh, I do. Sweet. Stop it. Okay. Make sure there's nothing that gives away too much. Okay. So I say on here often that I'm disabled, and it's just easier to sum it up that way than to get into like really in depth about it. But I am 30 years old. 31. I think I'm 31 actually, but I'm 30 something years old. It's not important. But when I was about 20, 21, something like that, I have a fucked up back. This was probably right before I turned 21. I do not know what caused my back issues officially. I don't know. There were several factors at play. We don't know if it was genetic, like I just had a bad back genetically. We don't know if I fucked it up by working out too much and doing taekwondo stuff. We don't know if it was from this car wreck I had. Like, we don't really know what caused it because all of those things happened like at once. But what happened in general was, let me set the scene, okay? My dramatic pink. Let me set the scene. I'm like 19, 20. I'm in college. I'm probably in the best shape of my life because I'm working out all the time and doing taekwondo stuff all the time. I am doing 2 different kinds of taekwondo 6 days out of the week. I'm in college, so I'm walking across campus like every day. Like, I'm eating healthy. Like, me and my friend were doing like nutritionist stuff, and like, so like I'm in literally like the best shape I've probably ever been in my life. I was not tiny by any means. I think I weighed like 240 or something, but I was all muscle. Like, I was doing good, right? And the first thing I noticed was we had taekwondo, right? I said I did 2 different kinds. I did ATA and WTF style. ATA is American Taekwondo Association. WTF is World Taekwondo Federation. ATA is like street fighting, defensive type things, like self-defense, where WTF is more like Olympic sport. Which, by the way, I sucked at WTF style because it requires you to be light as a feather to get points, and I was not light as a feather, let me tell you. But anyways, we had this guy come in to the ATA style dojo, and he wanted taekwondo lessons. In exchange, he offered to teach just like jujitsu or judo or something like that. One of those J's. I think it was jujitsu. Anyways, so we were like, sure, cool, we'll learn more skills, more martial art things, sure. So this guy, he offered, but like the first 2 things you were like learning in that was 1, how to somersault, which, fat girl, not easy. And then 2, how to flip people, like throw people over you. And I did not have a good comparable partner for my size and weight. So I usually got teamed up with guys that were way heavier than me because that was the closest they had. And somewhere between that session, I think I fucked up my back to start with. But probably from trying to flip a guy that's way heavier than me. But you know, I was used to being sore because I worked out all the time. So I was like, oh, I'm just sore. I'll be fine. And I didn't really think anything about it. Well, during this time, I was actually commuting. I remember now. I was actually commuting because I was driving home from school and I got rear-ended. There's this part where you're leaving the campus and you're getting on the highway and you merge, and it's terrible for traffic. Terrible. It's very hard to merge on. And when I was merging on it, I got like bumped. And at first I wasn't even sure I was like bumped. I was like, did I really just feel that? Because I'm pretty sure, but I'm not sure. Like, it wasn't that bad. And the person just drove off. So I was like, maybe I didn't get bumped or whatever. But then sure enough, I like pulled over to this like parking lot and I had like this dent like on the bumper or whatever, but it wasn't bad. So I was like, I don't care. I do not care about body damage to a car. Okay. I just don't. But I was like, ow, you know, like, okay, well, that really didn't help this sore thing I had going on, right? So I got home and I started having pain after like a day or two in my like rib area here, like right under the rib. And just like where you would like if you had a seatbelt going across you. So I was like, okay, it's just some like whiplash from the car, no big deal. Well, it kept hurting and it didn't stop. So I went to the doctor and the doctor was like, oh yeah, it's probably whiplash from the car. Give it a couple of weeks. If you're still having pain, come back. I was like, okay. So within 2 weeks, I started having back spasms and they kind of made me forget about my rib pain because that was way more painful. And when I say I had back spasms, like your back would basically grab and then jerk like this, but almost rhythmically, okay? And it would continue to do that and it would cause more pain and muscles would freak out and they would try to like lock up because they were trying to stop it. And I just didn't know. I've never experienced back pain in my life. I've never experienced like spasms before. I was like, what the fuck is this? So it got to the point where like it spread through my back down to my hips and my neck area. And nothing I was taking was stopping it. Like, you know, the over-the-counter, like, you know, inflammation meds and stuff like that. So something happened. I think it got really bad one night. And if I remember this right, because it's been like 10 years, bear with me. I ended up going to the ER and they couldn't find anything. And so they recommended, or across the street from the ER was a spine doctor, like for sports players and stuff. And so I went and made an appointment with them and they said, okay, we got to get you into an MRI. Through the entire MRI, it was very painful and very hard for me because you have to be very still so they can get clear images. And my body was involuntarily jerking. So I couldn't do it. Like, it was like 4 hours of hell, okay? Trying to be still and fight against your body to hold still enough that they can get a photo. When the spine doctor came back, and we made our appointment, it was like probably a month at this point, he said that I had a Parse Defect. And I said, what the fuck is a Parse Defect? And he said, the best comparison is saying you have like a fracture in your tailbone, like to spine area. And I was like, okay, so what do we do about it? Do I have surgery? Do I get fused? Like, what do we do? And they were like, about that. They were like, because of the location, since it's on a curve, I can't do anything for you. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, like, we can't fuse it or anything because it's curved right there. And I was like, okay. And he was like, also, it turns out that you have some arthritis in your disc. And I was like, what? I'm 20. How do you have arthritis already? And so they sent me this like MRI image. Like, hold on, I'll try to get it pulled up here. I tried to take a picture of the MRI, so it's terrible, but bear with me, right? So Where is it? I have 2 images. I'm gonna see if I can put them side by side. And zoom in on these beaches. Yeah, okay. So, this is spine. This is your disc, right? Here. Disc, 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 your tailbone, blah, blah, blah. So, right in here somewhere is where my Parse Defect, I think it's this part right here. This disc had like almost no fluid like in it left. And then up higher my spine, which I couldn't get a good picture, which is why I don't have it on here. I have like lower fluid in my disc in the upper part of my back and bone spurs. So this area is where the curve is, and this is where they cannot fuse it, or what they told me they couldn't fuse it or whatever at the time. Now, a better image to give you an idea. So basically this is what happened. This is what a normal spine-ish would look like, right? And then a Parse Defect is where this is basically broken. And you see it pushes on this disc here. So if we're looking at, I think it's this one. Yeah, so this is obviously the disc that's affected. This, I think, is where the actual, like, break is right here. So the side effect of that, also, this is what a healthy spine looks like. This would be my upper back area, like where your bra would like fall. My spine looks more like this, where it's more rough edges into your disc. You don't have as much liquid in between protecting you. So I was told that I basically just had to deal with it. And I was like, okay. And I was like, so what's causing the back spasms? And they're like, yeah, we don't know. And when you go to a specialist and they're like, we have no fucking idea, like, at 20, that I just couldn't fathom. I was like, surely there's something. So surgery is not an option. I'm having back spasms that are very painful, and I'm a college like kid, you know, and like I immediately couldn't go work out anymore. I couldn't go to Taekwondo and stuff anymore. I couldn't go to class and sit through class because I was spazzing so bad, and it would travel up my spine through my neck and affect my head. So I couldn't even focus in class. So basically over the course of a weekend, I no longer could do anything. And I couldn't walk for long periods of time. I couldn't sleep. My back spasms literally, it's not an exaggeration. My back spasms literally lasted 20 hours out of the day. So the 4 hours that I wasn't spazzing, I was passing out sleeping until I would wake up spazzing. And my back spasms were just very it's like I looked like I was having a seizure, but I was totally capable of understanding you and talking to you and stuff. It was just that motion of like a seizure. And sometimes it would be really minor, where it would be just my head like doing this. And then other times it would be full body like locked down. And so I decided I would go to a chiropractor. I would try that. And the first time I tried to explain to the doctor what was happening, and he was like, okay, let's try adjusting you and see what happens. So they adjusted me, and I immediately started spazzing. And the doctor actually got to see that firsthand, because I actually, for the moment, was unspazzing, like, when I went in. And it scared him so bad, because he thought he had, like, thought he did that to me. I was like, no, this is what it looks like. That he went out of his way to talk to other doctors and specialists and sent them a video I had and stuff at the time of my spasms, and he basically went above and beyond to try to research what was going on and find out for me. And he literally wasn't really getting anywhere. Like, he was trying, bless his heart. But he did learn how to adjust me where my bones and stuff would pop, but I wouldn't spaz from it. And he had been doing chiropractic work for, like, well over 25 years. I actually went to him because a friend of mine had been injured and used him before, so I, like, trusted him. So the only thing that I had left that I hadn't tried was a neurologist. So I was like, fuck it, I'll go try them. So I went to another, I went to go see this recommended doctor, but he wasn't in, so I saw, like, another doctor. And that doctor did so many tests. She did, like, epilepsy studies and seizure studies, and this, like, she did so many tests on me. And it wasn't any of that. So, like, she was like, I don't know. And this had probably been close to a year at this point where I couldn't work, I couldn't swim, I couldn't walk, I couldn't do anything. If I dropped a rag on the floor, well, fuck it, it was staying on the floor. I couldn't get it. I had to use a cane if I walked, and I got really, really depressed because you don't ever expect your life to suddenly just stop like that. And the neurologist I was seeing ended up moving away, and so I had to get a new neurologist. And so I actually got to finally go and see the original neurologist I wanted to see. But before I did, I went to get my records from her and take them, over to this new doctor. So while I was waiting for that, I had a major back spasm to the point where we ended up having to call an ambulance to take me to the hospital because it was so painful that I was, like, losing my insane, like, mind. And they came to get me, like, the firefighters came and they had to, like, help get me up because we thought it was just going to be, like, a fall in and get up situation, and they ended up calling the ambulance from there. But I was spazzing and pulling so hard. Like, I had fallen in, like, a doorway, and I was spazzing and pulling so hard that it took 4 firefighters to try to get me up, and they were struggling. And they finally got me up and on a stretcher into an ambulance, and they were like, what's causing your spasm? Is it muscles? Is it pain? I was like, I don't know. I've been trying to figure this out for years. And so they just took a guess, and they gave me a muscle relaxant of some kind, and it calmed down enough that they could get me to the hospital. But at the hospital, they were still just like, we can't do anything. So I got my records, and I went to go see this new neurologist. And when I got my records, I was absolutely heartbroken because in my records, the neurologist had said that they couldn't figure out the cause, therefore I was psychosomatic. It was all in my head. And I was absolutely heartbroken because I was like, if this was in my head, I would be fucking going to college right now. I would be doing everything I want to do. Like, I was engaged to be married, and my, like, fiance left me because of this. Like, I would not be making this shit up, So I just, like, cried and cried and cried, like, over it. And I was just, at this point, this is my life now. I'm not going to get better because nobody can figure out what is causing this and what is going wrong. So when I went to see the new neurologist, I told him, I was like, this is what my records say, but I'm telling you it's not this. And he was like, I don't care what those records say. He was like, let's just see what you do. And he had me go walk from like the door, like down the hall and back. And he was just like, do you know when you walk, you're leaning to one side? And I was like, no. You know, I'm trying very hard to walk very straight right now. And he's like, yeah, you're like leaning to the right, like while you walk. And he was like, I'm going to send you to some physical therapy. And I was like, okay. And he was like, you're going to do physical therapy for like 6 months and let's see like where you're at. So for like twice a week for like 6 months, I would go to physical therapy, which was a mixture of like, it's about 30 minutes of just massage. And then the last, few hours was like strength training, because like at this point a lot of my body had like what's the word, like atrophied, like where you're like really weak and stuff from being laid up because I was bedridden. So they spent a lot of time strength training me and doing still continue to do chiropractic adjustments and things, and they got me from being completely bedridden to walking and moving again, and like my spasms kind of became under control a little bit. And I was on medication for pain and muscle relaxant, and I knew that I was going to be losing health insurance soon, so I really needed to find a way to manage without medication, because there was going to come a time where I would not have insurance to be able to get medication. So we ended up, between working with them and stuff, they actually got me to where I can do everything I can do today. Like I can walk and I can, you know, lift and do things very minimally, but I can. And when it's cold, like really, really cold and frozen and stuff outside, my body hurts really bad. And it makes it very hard for me to move. I still have back spasms. They're much less frequent now. I have not had an MRI scan since then, so you're looking at 10 years or so. But what I do know is I was told that the arthritis in my spine would continue to progress, and the Parse Defect would just exist. There was nothing they could do about it. My hips are often out of place. I actually have an image. Hold on. Wrong button. So when I walk, basically, okay, so like normal spine, me, right? My body looks like this. So my spine actually, it kind of actually goes this way, but basically it's higher on one side. I'm shorter on one side. I often have to be adjusted to just kind of level myself out to the correct height. And they found that whatever the muscles that go down your neck, along your spine, and into your hip, those muscles are what's causing my spasms. They get like, essentially they get kind of like a cramp, and it causes a chain reaction of events. I will always have pain up here. I will always have pain here, and I still have pain in my ribs 10 years later. So because I basically, when I got to where I could walk and do things again, you know, being 20 or so, I immediately went back to work because I was like, I have to make money to survive. Like, can't be supported, right? So I used to do odd and end jobs, but when I finally worked again, I worked for Great Wolf Lodge in retail, and it was a fine job. I can do the job, you know, 8-hour shift or whatever, but when my body's acting up, it hurts so bad to do that job. Like, I would just come home and cry because it just hurt, and there was nothing I could do. Like, all I can take is over the counter, like, pain stuff. It's not like I had, you know, prescriptions and things. So when I got pregnant with Hicks, I was really scared, because I was really scared that I would spaz, or my body would spaz, and I would hurt myself for the child. So Ryan and I worked out where I stayed home, and I was able to quit work and was able to work, and he would just work for it. And I've told Riot since we started dating, I was like, it is highly likely that as I get older, I'll be in a wheelchair more permanently, like as the arthritis and stuff progresses. And when my days are really bad, where I get really painful, I get really down because I just get reminded of being bedridden and what that was like and how debilitating that was. Like, especially for me, because I'm very creative, like, I couldn't do art. I couldn't do anything other than like lay in a bed and like look on a laptop, like, and look at stories. I think I used to do some Photoshop backgrounds. Like, that's all I could do. And, you know, I have to accept that as my reality. But while I can move and while I can do stuff, I'm going to, because I don't know how long I have for that. It could be fine for the next 30 years. I could be down in a year. Like, it just depends. Sometimes I'm down for like a month. Sometimes I'm down for several months. But I told Riot, like, since the start, I was like, look, I had a fiance leave me over this. I need you to know I'm very serious about what this is like and what this reality is like, because it's something you're going to see if you stay with me and you stay married. And he's been amazing, like, with it. He's very helpful. He never complains about it. He's always, like, rubbing my back, or, like, you know, if I need to get popped, like, with my shoulders or my spine, he's there, you know, to help with it. But a lot of my day-to-day pain management is minding over matter. Like, I rarely take any medication over the counter unless it's cold or really bad. I use a lot of heat, like hot showers, heating pads kind of thing. And that's it. So when I say I'm having a bad body day, like, that's what I mean. Like, I'm having to manage it on my own, because we still don't have health insurance. Like, I still don't get prescriptions and stuff like that. And I want to go as long as I can that way. Like, I want to go as long as I can without medications and stuff like that, because when I was on the medications, like, my pain, like, when I get really high pain, I just fall asleep. So, like, I was sleeping all the time. I was very zombie-ish, you know, or whatever. But, like, when things happen, like, we had our flood, right? Like, all that packing and moving and doing, like, what's very bad for my body, but that stuff still has to get done. Like, I can't just leave it on Riot to do it. And, like, I can walk for a while. Like, some days I can walk more than others. Some days I can do amusement parks and I'm fine. And then other days I can walk. I think I went walking to, like, a store and I was, like, dying. It's very by the day and just kind of going with the flow of it and trying not to overdo it. I had a very good friend. She gave me, she had a wheelchair because she was disabled as well. She had, like, an extra one. So I do have a wheelchair. I usually keep it in the car for big walking things like amusement parks or something. But on the average, I do use a cane. If I know I'm going to be walking a lot of stores or something like that, I'll use a cane. But, like, yesterday, for example, was like, I have to leave the house. I'm losing my mind. So we went to Burlington, Ross, and, like, one other store. And, like, lunch. I think that's what we did. And, like, I'm down today. Like, my body hurt so bad last night that I had to take medication. I had to go to bed early and sleep it off and stuff, and I'm still sore. And it's probably going to be, judging by how this feels, like a 3-day thing. Maybe. And, like, that's just the price to pay. And, like, my dad was disabled before he died, and, like, I didn't understand how that affected his mood so bad, and, like, now I get it, you know? It's a little too late, but, like, now I get it. And the idea that someone so young cannot do what they want to do, like, that was the biggest and hardest thing for me. Like, I can't go back to Taekwondo. I can't, you know, go back walking across campuses and stuff like I used to. Like, people, like, when I was in work, for example, I'd want to sit down a lot, and people would think I want to sit down because I'm fat and lazy, and not because I'm actually really hurting. And it's really tiring to try to constantly explain to somebody that you're disabled when you don't look disabled. Like, I don't have any obvious signs that I'm disabled unless I'm, like, in my wheelchair, you know? I had a handicap placard for a while at school trying to go back to school, and I just couldn't, even with that, like, because my spine pulls on my neck area, it can give me constant migraines and vertigos. When I was bedridden, I had constant, like, I'm talking every single day I had a migraine and vertigo. And, like, you just don't feel like yourself, you know? You don't like who you are when you're that way, because it's just not who you could be, like your full potential, you know what I mean? And when I was pregnant with Hicks and stuff, like I said, I was very scared that I would lose him, because I was very worried about if I spazzed and it pulled on my hips, like accidentally going into labor or something or whatever. So when I talked to the doctor when I was pregnant, I was like, I want a C-section because I don't want to have any more trauma to my hips and low back and stuff. And they were like, okay, that's fine. And I was very nervous the day of my scheduled C-section because they have to give you an epidural, which is a giant needle in your spine. So I was like, oh my God, I was so nervous. I was just like, I had this like new nurse, like she was like a student nurse or something next to me, and I was just like, hold my hand and fucking talk to me because I'm panicking. So they were like, okay. So the epidural was actually fine. Like, it was actually really not a big deal at all. The epidural feels like if someone goes to your spine and they just poked you with their finger really hard. Like, it's not really sharp and it's not really bad. And then I had my C-section, right, and all that. And when I was done with the C-section, you know, they take you to your room. And when you have a C-section, you're there for like 3 days. But after like a day, they really want you to get up and walk. Now, that is fucking amazing to me, that you can have your entire like abdomen just cut open and stitch back up. And they're like, okay, get up and walk now. Like, no, my organs are gonna fall out. What the fuck? But I was like, I really can't, because it hurt. That level of pain was so debilitating that I was just like, I really can't. And they were like, okay, we really need you to get up and walk because you have to, they have to remove the catheter they put you on. And I was like, why? And they were like, basically your bladder gets lazy and doesn't want to work anymore. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, well, look, it's not going to happen. I can't get up and walk. If I do, I'm really going to start spazzing and hurt myself. So they let me stay like an extra day before I had to walk. And they were like, okay, you have to get up and walk today. So I would, and like, the pain is so bad that, like, honestly, I don't remember much of my hospital stay because I think I just tried to black it out from my head. But what I do remember is on the third day, I was told I had to walk, right? And I was like, how much do I have to walk? And they were like, up and down the hall as many times as you can. And I was like, can I get some pain meds then before I do it? And they were like, no, we'll bring it to you afterwards. Like, first of all, don't tell a pregnant woman no. Well, an ex-pregnant woman, no, you're not going to bring her some pain meds. Especially one that's disabled. But I was young and dumb, and I was just like, okay, fine. So I get up, and I'm shuffling down this hall holding my stomach, and I'm like, this is really bad. Like, this is really painful, and this is starting to fuck with my back. And I think I walked it like 7 times. And when I came back to my room, I started crying because it hurt so bad, and I started spazzing, which was my worst fear, because next to losing the child. Because when you spaz, you have staples, like, under your gut, and it pulls on those staples every time you spaz. And so I started spazzing, and I just started crying because I was like, I'm literally going to rip open my staples accidentally here because they wanted to be like fucking dicks and not bring me some medicine so I can do what they asked of me. And I think Riot went off on them. I think he left and went off. I don't remember. What I do remember is they finally brought me pain meds, and they never denied me pain meds again. But I did hurt something with my staples because when they went to remove them, some staples had closed, like, the skin grows around the staples, so when they remove it, it kind of hurts a little bit. It's not, like, super bad, but it hurts. And one side was, like, looser around the staples than the other side. And, like, I was just like, you guys are fucking dicks. And the recovery after a C-section is really bad. Like, trying to get up and move hurts, and that pain triggers the spasms. So, like, the recovery after a C-section is, like, my worst nightmare. I would never wish that on my worst enemy, like, ever again. Like, I want another kid, and I would go through a C-section again, but I do not look forward to that part, because that was the worst. I didn't even have labor pains. I didn't have the pushing for 30 hours, but it was terrible. It took me a month to recover from my C-section, and it had gotten, like, infected and shit, and, like, we had to, like, fix it the long way, like, and I still have issues from it. Like, it permanently changes your body. And, like, the recovery of a C-section compared to my back spasm pain, I would take my back spasm pain every day because I know I can survive that. The C-section, I feel like I wouldn't survive it. I was so dramatic. Like, it was just so bad. But luckily, I was very careful during the entire pregnancy, especially the last, like, 6 months. So I didn't have any complications. I had PCOS, so I had cysts that would rupture, and they were watching that because that could make you lose a baby. I had, like, blood in the womb area, basically, and, like, if my body hadn't absorbed it, it could cause you to lose the baby. My body absorbed it, so it was good there. Hicks was a very good pregnancy, really. Like, he stayed in one spot. He did not move around a whole lot, thank God. But he was, like, upside down the whole pregnancy. He was ready to come. Like, he was not gonna wait around. But it did make it easier on my back because he didn't put as much pressure on my spine and stuff. I had, Braxton Hicks labor pains, which if you don't know what they are, they're called false labor pains. Basically, your body practices what labor is going to be like before you have it, and that was very rough on my back. When I had those, my hips and my spine would, like, lock up, and then it would, like, let go, and it would lock up, and it would almost cause a spasm. So that was really scary, but, like, I don't know how I would have done in labor. I feel like I would have broken something more in labor, really. But it's all these little things, like, when you're thinking about your future and, like, from your age, like I said, I was, like, 20, 21 when this happened. I'm 31 now, but, like, thinking about how basic things you took for granted and, like, having to prep around it. Like, I was the age of having kids, like, trying to think, okay, what do I need to do to protect me and myself and my baby, like, through this. Things like we live on a second floor now. Okay, so I'm probably not going to be going outside as often. How do I keep my energy up and not get depressed from feeling isolated and stuff? Adjusting doing art. Like, I do art digitally now because it's easier on my body than doing painting by canvas like that I used to do. Like, there's so many just little adjustments and things. And, like for the most part, we use paper plates and bowls because it hurts for me to stand and do dishes. I can cook, but I can't do dishes, like, after I cook, kind of thing. Making sure that I have access to lots of blankets because when my body gets inflamed and it starts hurting a lot, sometimes I'll need up to like 5 blankets on me to give me the weight and the heat I need to chill my body out. Things like making sure I have access to my canes. Like, there's a preference of canes for what I use. Things like, not picking Hicks up as much. Like, I would love to. I'd love to be able to pick him up and swing him around. But, like, it could literally hurt me. So I have to not. And, like, I have to teach him he can't jump on me and things like that. Stuff that I want, Like, things like, if Riot got injured and I would have to go back to work, what job could I do and still make enough money? But, like, what job could I do? Things like that. Things like when I have a migraine or, like, my head, sometimes I have what we call brain fog, which basically means usually it's something in my neck has gotten out of kink and it's affecting my head, and it makes me very hard for me to think of words that I'm looking for or whatever. So, like, communication, like, I just get really frustrated with communication because I can't think of the word I'm looking for or even really speak it. And it can come on pretty suddenly. Like, I can be fine like I am right now, and then I'll just be like, hold on, I can't. And it won't stop until I either get some medication or I get my neck popped or something. It's just tons of, like, little things like that. And it's a lifestyle adjustment, or whatever. Things like, how do you keep your muscles up so you don't get atrophy again, but, like, not overdo it so that you hurt yourself. And just this, like, unknown of, like, what the future is gonna be like, like, because, like I said, my spine's supposed to continue to degenerate, or whatever, like, break down. So what will or won't be available long term. When I'm not in pain and I'm not laid up and stuff, all those stats are not very overwhelming. They're kind of like, okay, cool, I can manage this, I can do this. But when I actually get in pain and I actually get, like, depressed from it, like, it's very hard for me to get out of it. And I think all the props need to go for Riot for just staying a trooper through those kind of mood swings and, like, that future, like, knowing that he's always going to be taking on more than I will be able to provide and stuff. Trying to think, like, there's still a lot of unknowns with my body. Like, we still don't know why my ribs hurt. We don't know really officially what causes the spasms. We have a theory of the muscles and stuff, but we don't really know. So since I worked, right, because I got good enough that I could go to work, because I have worked since my injury was first discovered, to my understanding, this means I do not qualify for disability through the state, because you would have to prove that your injury has gotten worse or your injury is new for you to qualify. Because I've worked, I basically said, I got hurt, but I'm okay, I can work or whatever. So we don't get financial help from the state or anything for my disability. Not having health insurance, I can't go back and, like, get all these tests redone to prove it's gotten worse, or whatever. And I don't really know if it has, like, it kind of all just feels the same. But I know that going and working in a 40-hour week job, whatever, is just really hard and not something that I could do long term. And all of that, like, stuff is just kind of, like, frustrating because at some degree you are always going to have to rely on someone else, you know, whether it's your mom or your dad or your, you know, husband or whatever. That's livable, that's like doable, but the hardest thing I think is just being so young and having something happen that just changes your whole future, like within an instant, you know, kind of thing, like, and not having a real reason why. Like, those two things I think make the emotional mental health side of stuff just so hard. Like, whatever age you are now, just think whatever you did today, like, think of your basic stuff that you did today. Like, I'm gonna go with college because that's when I heard, like, getting up and getting dressed and taking a shower and going to your class and sitting through class and doing homework from the class and, like, meeting friends at lunch and then going back to class or going home and, like, doing, you know, maybe you work a job, like, after college, you know, classes or whatever, and then you go home and you chill that night, or maybe you go out to a club or something. All of that changes right now. Like, getting up to get dressed takes an hour where it used to take you 10 minutes. Taking a shower, it's harder to, like, bend over and, like, fully wash yourself and shit. Things like standing in a shower is very painful, like, for a long period of time, so you get really good at really quick showers and stuff. Going and driving to school or taking a scooter or walking to school is very painful, and driving while you're spazzing, a bitch, FYI, because you have to lock your hands in place so you don't accidentally jerk the wheel, you know, or whatever. So, like, walking to class is almost impossible, like, very painful. Sitting through class and focusing and learning what they're talking about and not being distracted by your head or jerking or whatever. Like, going and meeting friends and not looking strange while you're sitting with your friends doing this, like the whole time, and them constantly going, "Are you okay?" And you're like, "This is just my life now. This is just what it is." And, like, going to a store and trying to pick up something and not get stared at and not get talked about and not get, like just pain from getting up and walking that much or doing that much. Things like my left arm will randomly lock up if the muscles get activated, so I'll suddenly lose the ability to use my left arm. Like, and it can happen at any point in time, any instance when it feels like it. Things like knowing you're having a rainstorm coming up, or knowing that you're going to have some cold weather coming up, so prepping by having extra blankets ready and extra clothes that are easy to get in and out of, and like making sure you do have the over-counter medicines and you're not running low or out. Like, yeah, like, it's just your basic, it's not even extracurricular things like traveling or going into a tourist thing or whatever. It's your day-to-day routine and the things you've done every day that you don't even think about immediately changing and staying different. Like, the things like I had a bunch of friends in Taekwondo, and since I couldn't do any Taekwondo anymore, I don't have any of them anymore. I have literally, like, one. Like, the people I knew at college, they went on and did careers and stuff, and I never went back and finished my degree. Like, because it's very painful to go back and do shit like that now. My school, though a good disability school, did not offer a lot of online classes for the courses that I needed to take. They were, like, specialty courses, so, like, I couldn't do online school. I don't know about now. I don't know if I care about going back and finishing it now, but, like, back then, yeah. Just the amount of changes you suddenly have to do, and with no end in sight. No, oh, I'll do this for like 6 months and it'll be over. Like, no, it's probably like this forever. and no one having answers for you. No one having, oh, well, at least this is what caused it, or whatever. This is what this is. Like, no, you just have nothing. And when you try to explain it to people, like, a lot of times, if they've never experienced anything like that, they don't really understand, like, the level of depth and debilitatingness that it is. And, like, when I was at that time, I was dating a guy, and we didn't have a good relationship anyways, but, like, you have to tell this person, I know you didn't, like, sign up for this, but this is what life is like now for me, so it's gonna probably be like this forever, and you're gonna have to take on extra. Like, the guy dipped. He was like, I didn't sign up for that. And I'm like, I don't blame him, you know, like, I understand. It's a shitty thing to do, but, like, I get it, you know, like, I remember after I was holding on pretty good at the 4-month mark, the 6-month mark, but after, like, the 8-month to, like, the 12-month mark, I was just, like, I was still bedridden at that time. I literally, like I said, I spazzed 20 hours out of the day. Eating, I barely ate because it was hard to get up and cook anything. And then when I did, sometimes I would spaz so hard it would make me throw up. So, like, I wasn't eating, I wasn't sleeping. I was having, like, lucid dreaming because I wasn't getting enough sleep at night. So, like, I wasn't exactly hallucinating, but pretty close, like, because I would be just that tired, so goddamn tired. Like, I couldn't clean my, you know, counters and my floor and stuff in my bathroom. I couldn't clean my bedroom, like, and you couldn't afford to hire anybody to come do it, so you just had to wait to that, hopefully when your spaz broke, and try to get what you could done. Like, things like, I don't know, like, just trying to find a way to still feel fulfilled and fulfilling in relationships to people, and still having relationships to people. Like, all that stuff is just amazingly, like, it just stops, you know? And it's not something you can prepare for, or you can think about and be like, oh, if this happens to me, I know what to do, because no one expects something like that to happen to you when you're, like, 20. You know, you're the best shape of your life, usually. You're, like, on top of the world, you know? And, like, I don't know, like, I think now at 30, it's much easier for me to accept and, like, work with, and I've been doing it long enough now that I'm like, well, whatever, like, I don't even think about it anymore, you know, kind of thing. But I do know there was a time, maybe a couple of years ago, where my body just hurt really bad for a very long period of time. It was, like, months. And I think at the 3-month mark, I was, like, telling Riot, I was like, I feel like I did when I was bedridden again. Like, I feel that level of depression, that level of stuff, because it's just lasting too long. Mostly on my day-to-day now at 30, like, my back stuff is very come and go. It's very, like, maybe a day or two here or whatever. A week is usually pushing it. So when I'm down for, like, months or something, then I'm like, what the fuck? You know, like, it's still really hard emotionally to accept, you know, and to work around it. It's very hard to figure out hobbies and things to keep your mind distracted and busy by what you could physically do and stuff. I'm trying to see if I still had...
Baby, I need to help you.
Hold on, I'm looking for a video. Bear with me. It's such an embarrassing video. Bear with me. It's a terrible video. But I do have a video of what my back spasms used to look like. It's very hard to kind of tell what's going on because I'm very overweight. So, like, it's not, like, super clear. but you can get an idea. I'm gonna leave it muted for right now, but I took this was not even like a really bad back spasm, it was just a normal back spasm for me, and I took it so I could show my doctor at the time. So this is 2010. Yeah, March 2010. Oh god, alright. It's so bad. Full screen. Yeah. So just like, you have to excuse the boobs jiggling. I know, it's a thing, but that's it pulling. So it's pulling and it locks, and then it would let go and it would spaz a little, and then it would do it again. And I'm trying to talk. My boyfriend did not want to film this, but I had to for the doctor. I can't pull my head forward. It's jerking it back. I'm trying to talk, and I'm very broken with what I'm saying because it's hard to breathe. It's pulling here, and it would pull like all the way back. I'd be doing like an upside down U. Like, yeah, this is not a very good example because the biggest problem was my neck and my head. Like, because when you would sit up, you would see it, but in this video I was only laying down, so it was very hard to kind of showcase. But when you're sitting up, right, it would grab in your neck and it would pull. So I'm gonna try to do it, like imitate it basically. But so like it would basically, like, I would pull like this for hours and hours and hours, and it would pull my whole upper body. So my whole upper body and head would jerk like this, and it was hard to take a deep breath to say something. So if I was gonna say, let's go out to dinner tonight, right, it would come out more like, let's go out to dinner tonight, because it was so hard to try to like take a full breath and use it all in one sentence. So like when I would lay down, the worst pains when I would lay down, it would pull my entire, from my neck down my spine to about mid back. It would pull all of that backwards, and it would lock and hold it. And sometimes it would let go and it would jerk, but then it would pull again, and it would do this rhythmically almost forever, like for 20 hours of the day or whatever. And I could understand you. Like, if you were asking me questions, I could answer you, but it was very hard for me to talk because it would pull on my neck, right, while I'm trying to talk. So any pressure on my spine, like in this case, I couldn't wear a bra because it would put pressure right across that arthritic part of my spine, which is why you get the jiggles there. But like, that's just like all kind of like what it was like. And like, this is, like I said, this is like 10 years ago or whatever. Like, now I don't really get the head jerking as much. I get the migraines and vertigo sometimes. I do get the pulling in my mid back and upper back, and basically what that looks like now for me is like, I'll usually feel it coming and I'll tell Riot like, I'm gonna spaz, or I feel like it's trying to spaz or whatever. And so usually what he has to do is come over, and he has to be rough as fuck. He has to press on my like upper back and try to run out, because basically think of it like a Charlie horse cramp. Like, those muscles like would start to lock up and I'd feel it, and he has to force them to undo their ball and like relax. So he has to essentially rub the shit out of my upper back, and then with my hips, because they ride like this, he literally has to physically go on top of it and push my hip down. And it's very painful in the moment, but it's a lot less painful than letting it spaz. Now, when I was doing physical therapy, they told me not to fight the spasms, to just let the spasms be. And I was like, what? Like, how does letting the spasms happen help? But it really did, because when you fought against the spasms, you basically, Like, I'd feel the spasm coming and I would try to lock down, and it would make my muscles even harder, freak out even harder. If I would let the spasms happen, then they could work it out while it's happening instead of trying to stop it before it happened, basically. And it was much easier to adjust that way. And so usually now, if I feel like this stuff's gonna happen or it's gonna come on, I'll usually tell Riot, and he'll have to come, like, rub my back or push my hip down or whatever. And then I try to, like, just kind of, like, not move. Like, I kind of just lay in the chair or, like, on the bed, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna move from this spot. Or I'll go to a shower and I'll put, like, heat on the spot and stuff. Heat helped more than ice, because I usually found that, I think that's related to the arthritis part, because when things are cold, my arthritis part hurts more. But we don't know, but we think that genetically speaking, I already had something going on because of the arthritis. Like, that wasn't something that just appeared. That was something that happened over time. So, like, the arthritis part we think was something, like, genetically. But we're not sure as far as what caused the initial spasms and break. Was it the taekwondo? Was it the car? Was it all the factors at once? We don't know. I typically just say I think I usually say it's in a car wreck or taekwondo, because it's just easier for explanation. But it's something that I've grown to live with. It's something that I don't like still, and I still struggle with acceptance, but it's something I've learned to manage and work around and live around. And I think now the only biggest thing I have is just, I don't look disabled. Like, I don't look that way. And if I don't look that way, people tend to lean on it's my weight, or I'm just lazy or something like that. And I used to get that a lot when I did early in my Instagram days, when I would post not so safe for work stuff. People would come and they would rag me about my weight and stuff, and they would be like, you should go to a gym, you should work out. And I was like, you literally don't understand how hard that is, like, at all. Like, first of all, I don't think I should lose weight just because someone tells me to, but it's literally hard. And when you try to explain that to strangers on the internet or whatever, they just think you're making excuses because you're fat. Like, I'm a huge advocate for invisible disabilities for that. You don't, but you do let others know that you do. Like, I don't know. Like, it's something you're like, I don't care about it now. I'm way too old. Like, I'm way too past that now. But early on, that was something that I came across a lot of. And the idea, the concept of you never know what someone's going through, like, that is basically what invisible disability is like. And it sucks that you would have to explain that to defend yourself all the time. Like, you shouldn't have to. And it's like, why I don't. But, like, there's people that are younger than me that are, like, teens, or, like, that are going through similar things. I didn't think this could happen to me at 20. But it could. And there's people that have a lot more invisible disabilities than just this at younger ages. And I don't think that they should have to explain themselves. Like, I don't think people should have to explain themselves. And I think they feel a lot of these feelings, but it's very hard to put into words, which is why I don't mind talking about my situation. Like, I'm totally fine with talking about my situation, because there's a lot of kids and stuff that can't, that or haven't. But they feel like this. And I think it helped me a lot in understanding my dad, like, after he passed away, because my dad, he had a lot of health problems, but towards the end of his life, he officially filed for disability because he had hurt his foot and it wasn't healing. And so he couldn't work anymore. And he struggled majorly with depression when he filed for disability, and just not being able to be a man and support the house and, all that stuff. And I remember thinking, who cares? Like, at least you're alive, or whatever. And not really understanding why, when you feel young and then you can't do the things you want to do. And like when I got hurt and I was bedridden, I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. Like just what that does and the toll that takes on your mentality. A mixture of just not wanting people to worry about you, and then at the same time being honest about how you're affected. Like those things often conflict, because if you start talking about your mental health, or you start talking about how you're doing, people start, you know, treating you different, and like they can't help it, you know, like, but all you want during that time is normalcy, you know. Hold on just a second. What's up, baby? What are you doing?
I'm trying to tickle you.
Oh, you have a feather. I thought it was a makeup brush.
Why would I?
I don't know. That tickles though. Don't make me sneeze. Let me see it real quick. Let me see. It does tickle, doesn't it?
Yeah, I tried it on myself.
Alright. Have you ever thought about some kind of Tai Chi to help calm the body? I haven't looked into Tai Chi specifically. I tried some yoga and things like that, like other stuff. And honestly, it was just really painful. Just a whole lot of really, like, painfulness. Digital says, hi, monkey.
Hi, Digital.
He says hi. I think the biggest help that I've had to my body is massage, or like things like hot stone therapy and stuff, and like, you know, deep tissue massages. When I was able to afford to, and I was able to get those more regular, like my body did a lot better, a lot longer. But the other like martial arts related things, not so much. Like I said, Tai Chi I haven't really looked into, but I know I hate yoga. I fucking hate yoga. If I could ban yoga in my house, I would. I fucking hate it. It's terribly painful trying to hold those positions, and even if you're not overdoing it or overstretching, just holding a position for a long period of time is very painful on my body. Like, I don't know, just a lot of times I feel like my body, like, it wants to stretch like a lot, and like it wants to just keep doing that because it's trying to pull a muscle out of whatever painful pose it is. But let's say, like, I don't know, I'm just gonna fucking, if I'm having to hold this right here, and I'm sitting, and so it's pretty comfortable, but like if I'm standing and I'm holding this, after a period of time, like my upper back will start to hurt or something like that, and like eventually I'll get the shakes and, you know, the fatigue, because I'm not as strong as I used to be with it. But doing all the poses, like the downward dogs and the, you know, whatever the fuck, it's just really painful for me holding it. I don't get enough benefit out of that. Now, like I said, that's yoga, not Tai Chi. But I basically, if I do any sort of working out thing, it has to be related to something that's more like very slow, gradual muscle strength training, rather than like a cardio workout or whatever. In physical therapy, they would have you do cat poses, where you would like lean forward and like arch your back forward like an angry cat, and like and the opposite of that. And then they would have you do they had me do a lot of strength training in my abdomen area, because the muscles from your abdomen would wrap around to your back. So they would have you do a lot of just physical therapy poses and things that would help strength train that to support your back. And then they would have you walk on a treadmill. They would have you do the resistance bands, you know, like by your feet, and like pull up, you know, things like that. Just really gradual strength training to keep. Basically, the idea was it wouldn't fix your back, but it would give your muscles support to your back, you know, basically. But when the cold is particularly bad, when like the cold comes, basically, it's not necessarily my muscles will ache, it'll ache down in like my bones, and there's not much you could do for that other than trying to give it heat and trying to counter the muscle pain from it, basically. I often have issues with my left shoulder popping out of place, my hips popping out of place, so I have to be careful when I'm doing something like that that's like strength training or any sort of working out, because I can pop out of place pretty easily now, and it's a pain to get it back in place, you know. Or I can injure myself if I continue to work out and not realize, because when I say things pop out of place, it's not like my arm literally pops out of socket and dangles there. It's like my rotation gets off, or I get just a little wonky and I may not notice, and if I don't notice and I continue to work on that, I can actually injure myself more. Just my back hurts all the time, so a lot of times I don't even notice when things are getting out of place until they're like way out of place. Because it's a constant pain. It's not something that goes away. I just get used to it, you know, basically, and I don't notice it. Unless I start, you know, doing something like lifting things I shouldn't be, or walking longer than I shouldn't be, then I'm like, oh yeah, I have this thing, that's right, you know. I'm trying to think. I don't think I have anything else Parse Defect related, so I'm gonna go back to doing art. I think. If you have any more questions, it's fine, ask away. I'm out of things to talk about with it, out of ideas to explain it. You. Layer, duplicate layer. I don't use a wheelchair very often, but they make the wheelchairs where the wheels on the wheelchair aren't like this. They're like tilted in some. They use them for like basketball and things like that, and I was like, those are so cool. I want one of those. No. Well, that's not gonna work. Delete. Let's try this. Let's just try drawing it. Let's see if we can just draw into it. Layer, new layer. I think as far as like working outness, probably swimming's probably the easiest for me, because it takes a lot of the weight on the muscles and like pressure off. I can actually do sit-ups in a pool. Thank you, Digital. I appreciate that. So I do like to swim a lot. I need to duplicate and flip, edit, transform. Flip. There we go. It's not quite where I want it to be, so screw that. Delete. It's often a reason you'll see me like up all night or up in the middle of the night. I'm a huge insomniac from it. I can stay up like 48 hours and be fine usually. What's up, bud?
So, you know the Skylander disc for my PlayStation?
Yeah.
Well, the disc fell out, and now when I try to put it in, it does the PlayStation just turns on.
Okay.
I can't stop it.
Let me just come look. I don't know what you're explaining to me. Let's go look. Come on. There's a puppy in the bed. I don't know if I can show it. Let me see. No, you don't move. Don't move. No, you moved. Beat. Come here. Come here. You do go, puppy. Puppy knows when I'm hurting, and like if Riot comes over to like help me walk, like sometimes I'll lock up and I can't walk to like the bathroom or the bed or something. He'll come over and he'll help me like, you know, stand up and walk to the whatever room. Logan gets pissed. Like he like barks at Riot and tries to like nip at his hands. He's like, don't fucking touch her, she hurts. It's so cute. Bobby. Bobby, come here. Come on. Come here. Come here. Get the loves. Get the loves. Have some Logan love. Logan love. You're not quite a service dog, but you're pretty good. Okay. Shift. Okay, I need to duplicate, move you up there, and then draw a line from here up, and then duplicate that. Alright, let's see. I'm not really fully liking this angle here. Is it supposed to be? It feels weird being so far back. But maybe it's supposed to be. Okay, so then edit. Let's cut this and draw from here to here. Okay, let's just rasterize all these. And merge. Did I already fuck up? Did I already do too much? I think I did. Yep. Yep, I did. Book, alright. That's probably good enough. Okay, so now I need to take all these lines. How do you think Logan would do as a service dog? He'd do terrible. I love him, but he would do terrible. He is too nervous. He's really good about noticing when I'm in pain. He's really good about noticing emotional stuff. He's 50-50 about bringing me stuff when I ask him to. But he's too nervous and too aggressive with other animals and things to ever really go out in public and be confident in him. So I would give him a 5. He's right in the middle. I think I would like to have a service dog. I don't know if I will. I have a friend who's into training and stuff like that for him. But I'm definitely a dog person. I would definitely have another dog that would be a service dog. One dog and a cat, really, but I think he's also really old. Like, Logan's like 8 years old now. Like, I wouldn't put him through that, like, you need to adjust yourself to work for me. Like, I wouldn't do that. Like, I'd be like, no. Okay, so let's see here. We need to pull this out. This out. Plate. Okay. This is front. This is side. And this is top. Okay, so let's go open something of Riot. I need this color. Okay, thanks. Okay. Layer, new layer. Oh, good. Did I merge this? I did. Bitches. Alright. Gotta back up and try to unmerge some things. I guess I drew that line accidentally in the wrong spot. Whoops. Alright. Here. Hide. The thickness on these angled lines bother the fuck out of me. I had a husky, yes. I'll see if I find a picture. Pink. Photos? No. Albums. Album. Old album. Where is it? I don't know if I have a picture because it's a long ass time ago. Yeah, I don't think I do. I had a husky. My first dog, well, I had dogs since I was born. Like, they had Shih Tzus. I know it's not Shih Tzus or something like that. I can never say it right. But the first dog I got was in kindergarten. For graduating kindergarten, they let me get a dog. And I went to the Humane Society, and I picked this dog that was like... I picked the dog because it was the only quiet dog in the whole place. But it was a Border Collie mix. And it was the sweetest, best dog I ever owned. And then a few years later, someone was getting rid of their husky, one of my mom's coworkers, because it had killed a cat. And so we took it, and they were like this. They were like married to each other, I swear. The husky we had was fine. The only problem we had with the husky was that it kept escaping. It was an escape artist. It liked to dig, so it would dig out and then it would run out the door all the time. It always was hunting. Think of it like a wolf almost. Like, it was always trying to kill whatever came in our backyards. Squirrels, snakes, frogs, cats, you know, whatever. But she was a super sweetheart of a dog. Super sweet. And they shed a lot. They really, really do shed a lot. The Border Collie I had for about... I think it made it to about 13. Yeah, and then it developed cancer and had to be put down. And then our husky... it got really depressed after our Border Collie died, and so my mom we had a couple of dogs. We had a pug, another Shih Tzu mutt dog. They were really hard to manage. We ended up getting rid of them, and then my dad ended up getting an English bulldog, and my husky really took to the bulldog because we got it as a puppy, and she treated it like her puppy. And so they were pretty close, and like he the bulldog was actually really fun. Like, it has bulldogs are a lot of work, in my opinion, because you always have to, like, you have to make sure their wrinkles stay clean so they don't get eye infections, and they have, like, a lot more maintenance grooming-wise, like, keeping their anal glands clean and stuff, and some other things, but they're really, like, he played a little bit, but he was a lazy dog, you know, just wanted to sit around and watch stuff all day, and so, my husky ended up, she got arthritis really bad in her hips, to the point you could hardly touch them, or she would, like, bite at you because it would hurt, and then she ended up, like, just reaching that old age where she couldn't, like, you know, she had incontinence and stuff like that, so we ended up having her put down too when she was, like, 15. The bulldog, he got heartworms, because after my dad died, we couldn't afford to get preventatives, you know, for him, and we couldn't afford to get him treatment, so we ended up giving him to a bulldog rescue, which would treat him and stuff. So I've had all kinds of dogs, and then I worked at the Humane Society for a while, so I had a lot of dogs there that I liked a lot. We ended up with a lot of pit bulls there. One time we had an Irish setter come in, which an Irish setter is a super gorgeous dog. Oh my god. Let me see. An Irish setter looks like this. Like, it's just a beautiful fucking dog. This was an English bulldog. English bulldog puppies are the best. They're so soft. They feel like a velvet. And they're just little wrinkled faces. Look at that. Look at that. It's so soft. So soft. The husky I had looked kind of like this. She's a gorgeous, gorgeous dog. And then I think the border collie I had was an Aussie mix because of the spots that he had. So he looked like so kind of like how these spots are in here. He looked like a border collie, but like in the white spot it was like this bluish tinier spots or whatever. He had the square ears too, like Logan, where they come down. A taller version of Lady, yeah. Irish setters are gorgeous. And of course I love my pit bulls. Pit bulls are adorable. I love them. They're just dinosaurs. We fostered an American bulldog once, which honestly it was like kind of like a pit bull mix, really. It looked something more like that. I'm partial to border collies because of getting one, you know, when I was so young, so that's why we have Logan, because I specifically want that. Anthony likes beagles, or Riot, he likes beagles. I think beagle puppies are cute. I don't really care for them so much as adults. They're okay. They're too loud though for me. It's really noisy. Huskies are princesses, man. They talk to you all the time. Oh my god. They like to get wet. Like if you have a water tray, they like to dig in it. They like to dig a lot. I would love to have a husky again, and look, if someone comes up and offers me a husky, I'm not necessarily turning it down, but they do need a yard to run around in, and they like to dig and stuff a lot, so we tried in our backyard putting sheets of metal up around the base of our fence, so she would stop digging when she hit that. She went under it. So then we actually had to go around our fence, dig it up, put concrete like so far down. I think he did it like 4 to 6 inches down all the way around our fence so that she would stop digging out. They're just fun and feisty. They're definitely a young person's dog, though. Like, you want to have a husky when you can play with it and wear it out and run around and stuff. It's not something that I don't think a husky would be happy with me in my apartment with no backyard, nowhere to dig, and it would just yell at me all day with its princess voice. But like, I mean, if someone's offering me a husky, I'm not turning it down. It's a husky, you know, like, apparently Riot's relatives breeds huskies or something, and I'm just like, don't ever let me go to her house, okay? Just don't. I'm trying to think. Yeah, their fur was really bad. They make nice shedder, like, brushes now and shit for stuff like that, but you used to have to take them outside and blow them out all the time because their fur just shed so bad. They are not meant for Texas, let me tell you. You see a lot of labs here. Labs are okay. They have a lot of energy. Like, they'll play fetch until your arm falls off. I really like golden retrievers. Shadow Man, he just did it for me as a kid, but I like golden retrievers a lot. I like the square-eared dogs because they're so fluffy usually. I'd probably have that one next if I had to pick. They're all happy. Look at the happy face. Or I'd probably get another Aussie. I do like Aussies too. They're cute. Aussie dog, not that brand. Yes, you're cute. You're cute too. Come here. You're cute. Yes, you are. You're cute. Don't you worry about it. I'm not replacing you, I promise. Jealous bot. Oh, hey, they talk about the different patterns here. Hold up. Oh. I like the peanut butter puppies, the ones that are brown and black or whatever. I don't know what that's called. Brown and black and white pattern dog. What is that called officially? I hear you, puppy. I hear you. A tricolor? Okay. Tricolor. Yeah, Riot calls them peanut butter puppies. I like those. Those are cute too. I had a corgi for like a day. I bought a corgi, and I was staying with a friend, and they had a little long-haired wiener dog, and so they let him in the backyard while I was sleeping. I was sleeping in or whatever, and they let him out the backyard, and the dog fell in a pool and drowned. So I can't take a corgi again. I get heartbroken and I have flashes and stuff, so like I just can't do a corgi again. But I love them, they're adorable. This one's cute, whatever this breed is. Ooh, look at that face. I'm not a fan of wiener dogs. They're okay. They just, I don't know, they have too many issues medically for me. I like Rottweilers because they're cute. Their faces are adorable. They got the little eyebrows. I like Rottweilers. I'm not a huge fan of Dobermans. Dog breeds A to Z. Sure. Chows are cute, but chows are super territorial. I can't read that. It's too small. It's too small, I said. Spaniels are cute. The ladies, you know, they're okay. I think greyhounds are hilarious, but I would not be able to give them enough space to run. Like, I would not at all. But they're adorable. Dalmatians are cute too. I like the fluffier dogs, the ones that are softer to pet though than Dalmatians necessarily. This one's cute. Looks like a dingo. Shiba Inus are kind of mean. They're little Napoleons. I don't like them. That's what Sedate has. He's got a little Shiba Inu named Raiko, and it's a little rude thing. Like, you go over and it's like, who are you? I don't like you. Yeah. They're cute, but they're just rude. Some Beethoven dogs. Yeah, I like those. Not a huge fan of poodles. Boxers are cute. Boxers are so ugly, they're cute. I love them. And Pomeranians. I love Pomeranians too. My aunt had Pomeranians and they look like little foxes. They were so cute. This was the true Pomeranian. I think the one she had looked more like this one here. I know you can't see because it's on my head, but like this one here looked like a little tiny fox. They're so cute. And you could train it and they'd be like, let me kiss you on the head. And it would like duck its head and you could kiss it right here. It's cute. The little tap away. Yeah. Terrier. Little whiskers. I love the Yorkies. Oh my god, Yorkies are so cute. Hold on. Distracted for a second. Yorkies are so cute. They are. You're cute too. I know. These are weird. The ones with the curved noses, the bull terriers. Those are weird. You're cute. Jack Russells are cute, but only cute because I liked Wishbone growing up. They're cute though. And Poppy's cute too. You're cute too. Here, pat, 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 pat. What was it? Oh, what was it? Teacup Beagle? I think Riot wanted that. Yeah, they're like the beagles that never grow up. They look permanently tiny. Teacup anything is adorable. I know it gives them health problems, but they're really cute. He does not. He is jealous here. Jealous of the puppies. You're jealous of the puppies, I know. I don't know. Can't think of any other breeds off the top of my head. You dealt with a lot of mutts in the Humane Society, so you got like a lot of labs and stuff. Shiloh! I know, Shiloh's such a sad movie. There was where the red fern grows dogs. They were all red and pretty babies. Best in game dogs, dog meat. I'm partial to wolves, so I like wolf hybrids a lot too. Sims, when you could get pets, oh, that was the best. It was the best. You can be mad about it, but it still was. German Shepherds. German Shepherds are cute. They're a little goofy, but I like them. But like, they're also kind of unpredictable. Like, being around, you're like, you want to stay on their good side. You know what I mean? Benji? I can't remember the breed. It's what it's called. Benji dog. Stop, Logan. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Little scruffs. The schnauzer? I can't even spell it. Schnauzer dog. I don't know. There you go. Schnauzer. Schnauzers are cute. They got the little face. Little tramp-like face. Poppy, you're getting all the pets. You're gonna wear my hand out. Here. You're so jelly. I don't know. Top dog Shosho. Look at this one, you can't even see. Lassie. Lassies, go home. Pugs are not pretty dogs. I did not like having a pug. They were rude. They barked all the time because they were scaredy little things. Not like having a pug. They made cute babies, but that was kind of it. Oh my goodness, puppy. These dogs are weird looking. They look like if Weeping Willows were a dog. Stop, puppy. You're hitting your head on the desk. You need to stop. You're gonna get brain damage. Oh yeah, I was gonna look up boxers. No, boxer. Yeah, boxer dog. They're so ugly and they're cute because they're ugly. And they're doofy. They're just little doofy dogs. Run into stuff and things all the time. But puppies, the puppies and the boxers are cute. All puppies are cute. Jack Russells are okay, but I hear they're really hyper. Like, you gotta wear them out. I like kitties too. Let's try cat patterns fur. Let's see what all the things are called. Tabbies? My favorite cats, other than all black cats, are the ones that are like, they're like mixed with the Siamese. They're like white with like stripes on their like tail and their feet. They're so cute. Go away thing. Search whatever. Let's try yeah, so Siamese are like the prettiest, but when they get the little stripes on their legs and their tail, like that's when they're like the cutest. Like this. Like this kind. No, Logan, you wait. I like those. I like the fluffy ones too. Like the ones with the super lion face. Like this. All super poofy. I think cat patterns are just really interesting to see like what makes what, you know. I like me some all black kitties, but the all black kitties I've known have been really rude. Maybe it's just because the certain ones I saw. Look at this guy, he's got like a mustache. I've always, the ones that have the moo cow colors like this, or like the white, like spotted like that, have always been the nicest cats. Like they've always just been the sweetest. The little Bengal cats are adorable too. I like those. Okay, back to what I'm supposed to be doing. Actually, you know what? I'm actually gonna stop there, and I'll continue making emotes at a later time. But I have to help Hicks finish up some homework before school, before he has to be in bed for school. So I actually need to get off early tonight, anyways. So I'm gonna call it there. Thank you guys for hanging out and listening to me rant, as per usual. You guys can join in anytime you want. I'm just going to keep picking random topics until people want to come talk about their own feelings and emotions and stuff. But in the meantime, I'm going to save this file, save a copy, save it as spicy milk emotes. I'm going to save it to desktop for now. Save. I had a tiger stripe kitten. That one was a monster. The orange guys have been kind of rude lately. My friend she gets cats all the time, and so like I'm trying to think through all those plus the ones the Humane Society have seen. she had a black one that was super mean. It was a black poofy one, and then she had the brown and black stripes tabby. He hides all the time. But he's really soft and really sweet, but he just hides all the time. He doesn't like people. The gray and white spots and the black and white spots were the nicest. And the all grays are the nice ones. Alright, puppy, I gotta walk you and stuff and whatnot. Okay, let's see here. Okay, as per usual, since it's a subscriber only stream, I will not be raiding today. I will be back in theory tomorrow to go back to working on Far Cry and stuff. Oh my goodness, puppy. Come here. Come say bye. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. It's so dark you can't even see you. You just blend into the background. You should read a quote every Wednesday. Like a motivational quote thing, or like a like, what are we talking here quote wise? I do share quite often on my Twitter, both in Discord and Twitter. I share a reclaiming me thing. Let's see if I can find one. Hold on. Poof. Puppy, you were walked a couple hours ago. You'll be alright. Waiting another 10 minutes, my guy. I'm doing too much. My computer is breaking down. Twitters. Let's see, what did I share recently on there? I shared Bink. Well, since we're talking about disabilities and things, you've been through 1,000 things in your life people don't even know about. You've experienced things that have shook you, changed you, broke you, built you, and taught you more than you ever thought you had the ability to be. And you are who you are for all of it. So the next time someone judges you based on a small part of what they see and how they interpret that, remember who you are, remember how much you've overcome and smiled and kept walking, because you don't have a single thing to prove to anyone else. You're already proved so much to yourself, who muddled through storms that people didn't even see because of how you carried yourself. Christian Corley? Yeah. Christian Corley. I don't think I mentioned it in here, but I actually run a group on Facebook called Reclaiming Me. Let me get clicked over. And it was just kind of a group to help some friends and stuff, and then kind of grew from there. But I put quotes like that all the time on there. I do them more than I post anymore, really, but Bink. Yeah, I don't care about the admin thing. Okay, so like, it looks like this. It's got this graphic or whatever, but I put the same quotes up there as I come across them. I just share them. They may or may not have anything to do with what I'm currently going through and whatnot, but I just share it all the time, and then I copy that same thing over to Discord in the Reclaiming Me group there, and to Twitter. Just because I think that the mental health is just such a big part of living in life and stuff, so I put them there all the time. So if you have ones you want to share yourself, feel free. If not, I could read something from them or whatever. I post stuff all the time. Anyways, yeah, that's it. All right, I'm out of here. I gotta go deal with puppy and stuff. Close. Thank you guys for hanging out. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow, 4 o'clock for Far Cry, unless something happens, as per usual. So I'll keep you posted in Discord.